But this specific man has introduced his children to every conquest he's come across. And he's not the only one. I know other ones like that too, but he's probably the worst one. But I'm just saying, like, no. These are your children. You're setting a foundation for what they do when they're older.
Right.
And I guess that, touching on that topic too, like my biggest thing with my kids and what men need to understand for single mothers and single women, you know, just because you date us does not mean you're playing stepdaddy. I kind of felt like that because it wasn't really a sexual smack because we weren't in the right setting for it to be a sexual smack, but it was like...
Was that the club?
Yeah! And he just like, I'm dancing and he like smacks my ass and grip. Hold on, little fella. Let me put some bass in my voice right now.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Girl, the club, it's
that.
Me and the girls we were talking about last week, like if one of us were what are they called, the cameras, you know, to the club, like to the club.
A GoPro. Yeah. Oh my, you know what, I've never seen that being done. That the girls were so talking funny.
About how it'd be so funny to just record us when we're that drunk, because
so you get like a like what first point of view.
Okay, look, we want to do it to see how we really are, because we have drunk us perspectives of us, but we don't have sober us perspectives.
Right.
I feel like there's a very big gap between.
You need to see, like,
yeah,
you know, certain people need to see, kind of like the conversation we was having earlier. Need to see, some people need to see how they are.
What did
you know?
You let me do that,
right?
You know what I mean? What is wrong with you? Oh my
goodness, seriously. Okay, so I guess we can touch on, so he also wanted to know success in life. I feel like we kind of touched on that a little bit already. I feel like we can't really give you advice on how to be successful in life because everyone's perception of success is different.
And we're not even where we want to be
exactly.
yet. We're still on our path. But I guess for me, the biggest thing is set a goal, and don't set a goal so high that it's not really doable for you. Set a goal, meet that goal. Set another goal, meet that goal. I did EMR. I'm an EMT. I set my EMR goal to get an A, got 110%. Like, I study my ass off. So EMR, EMT. From EMT, I'm going to do paramedic or nursing. Psychology is just something on the side I find interesting. So it's just different things. And then as I'm going through EMR to EMT, there's things that I'm like, okay, well, what comes with being an EMT? If I'm an EMT in the ER, if I have my phlebotomy license and my EKG certification or license, whatever it is that I need, it helps me look better than everyone else that's applying. So it's more so things that I'm like, okay, this will help me better my future here. So let me do that now.
Exactly. And like she said, we kind of perceive it different. So we have different goals and things we want to achieve in life. So, you know, her definition of success fits her life and her goals and her career path, just like mine is different. My definition is, you guys know that I have an online women's boutique. So for that to be, you know, selling out and successful, that's my definition of success. I want to reach 10,000 followers on Instagram. You know, I want to get more sponsorships with brands and stuff. So my definition of success can be different from someone else's. So you just really have to, like Shakila said, sit down and, you know, figure out what your goals are, what you want to achieve for yourself, and, you know, and just kind of go from there and figure out, you know, once you achieve those goals, would you, you know, some people, they want to make a certain amount of money and that's how they consider themselves successful. Some people, when they finally buy their dream car, they consider themselves successful. Some people, when they get promoted at their job, they consider themselves successful. So,
but I definitely could say, touching on that, is like, don't base your happiness off of materialistic things in life. Because yeah, a nice car is nice, and house, of course we all want that, but you got to look at it from an aspect of, whatever I do in the future, most of us want a husband or a wife. Most of us want a family. So keep in mind that everything you do now is to benefit your family later in life. And I think that a lot of people are lacking on that because, like you said, dating in 2019 is not really a thing.
Exactly.
I've had people ask me out on a date, or it's like, okay, can I take you out? And I'm like, take me out as in like drinks, or take me out to dinner? And they're like, nah, take you out as in drinks and like go back to my place after. And I'm just like, then that's not taking me out. That's like you wanting to get in my pants. So if that's your intent, be straight up and straightforward. Men, women, both. Like in general, if your intent is just to fuck, be straightforward. At least give the woman that opportunity to decide on if this is something she wants to invest her time in.
Exactly.
Let me just say,
you said it right on. It's something that she wants to invest her time in, because that's the biggest thing that pisses me off, when we have different intentions, and I'm always upfront and forward about what I expect out of this, whatever this is, and when you're not upfront with me, that's when I get the most pissiest, because I feel like my time is valuable, and if I'm taking my time away from whatever, working, my family, kids, whatever, to spend with you, and you have not been honest, and then you flip the script, and then you all of a sudden start acting, some sort of other way, then it's just like, we should have just been upfront.
Right. It's like those, I'm not looking to date, but I'm open-minded. No,
right.
No, you're not even open-minded. If you're saying I'm not looking to date, but you're not wanting to date, just be upfront. Be like, look, I'm not looking to be in anything serious. I just want to hook up, or I just want a friend with benefits. Be honest.
Exactly.
It's 2020, y'all. Like, chances are, some women are for a lot more women than you think are for things like that. Like,
there's somebody for someone out there. So if you just want friends with benefits, that's fine. Let's be honest. If we are on the same page, then that's cool. But we need to be on the same page, and we both need to be expecting the same thing, and not one person thinking that there's going to be more to this when it's not. When we should have just communicated about this from the get-go.
Don't play me for a fool
all this time.
Here's the biggest thing: if you want to dog me, like, go ahead, see how that works for you. Because I promise you, it's not gonna work.
Right. But yeah, so everybody's definition of, perception of success is different. So to you who asked us to talk about that, we can't really pinpoint, because you might have different goals. I don't know what you do career-wise. I don't know if you have a family or whatnot. But yeah, I would just say write out your goals, and, figure out the steps that you need to take in order to accomplish those. And just, that'll help you to measure out what, success means to you.
And then what else did he say?
That was it. The sexual attraction and the success. And then
he said sex. Wait, he said success and sex. And I was like, wait, is he talking about sex? And like,
I know, I had to ask him, like, can you be more
what detailed? Are we doing?
And then I just wanted us to kind of just talk about how dating is, like your experience of dating, my experience of dating.
Well, I was in an 8-year relationship with a man, and then obviously my kid's father, and we split up. And then after him, I have had a pretty consistent like friends with benefits for the last few years. I did end up dating a man after, like, relationship with a man, older, a little bit older, not by much. And I can say by far, this man has set the goal and the standard for a man very high. Like, he was someone who I never thought he would be my type. Culturally, like, ethnicity wise, like, we are so different. But he was persistent, and I kind of appreciated the fact that, like, he was like, no, like, I want to get to know you. And he put in the effort, like, and I'm not gonna lie, at first he was putting in more effort than I was. He would call me when he got off work, because he literally worked right across the street from where I lived, but he lived in, like, Elk Grove. And so he's like, oh, I just got off work, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, have you eaten dinner yet? And I'm like, no, I fed my kids, and I put, them to bed, but I'm not hungry, I need to study. And he would show up at my house with food. Or when I was on my period.
That's cute.
He was like, what are you doing? I said, nothing. And I told him, I don't feel good. Mother Nature is on her visit. He's like, oh, well, what do you feel like eating? And I'm like, pumpkin pie with whipped cream. And this fool brought me pumpkin pie cheesecake with whipped cream.
Oh, that's so cute.
And so he was putting in effort, and we did end up being in a relationship.
It's the effort. It's the little things that we pay attention to. It's like, if they may be little to other people, but it's like, I see it. It's the bigger picture. It's the fact that you remember what I said, or you are just putting in the effort.
Yeah.
you know, you're
and I'm
trying.
one of those sentimental people. So me and him broke up 2 years ago. Because we were together for about 6 months, like dating, I guess, like from the time we started talking to officially a couple to breaking up, 6 months. And I still have the teddy bear he gave me and the little cards, because on Valentine's Day, when he asked me to be his girlfriend, he got 14 balloons. And from every balloon, he put a card on 14 different reasons why he had feelings for me. And then he blew up balloons and laid them all over my bed and the floor. Yeah, it was the cutest fucking thing ever.
That is so cute.
I have OCD, okay? This fool took a fucking window crayon or whatever on my mirror and said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" So the OCD part of me was like, this motherfucker on my mirror. Are you serious right now? But it was the cutest thing because he had this beautiful layout for me and like a big ass bouquet of flowers on my dining room table when I got home. Yeah. I think I got home from school or work. I can't remember. And I get home and it's just laid out like that. And I'm like, that is so sweet.
That is so sweet.
And then he took me to dinner and, you know, we started dating.
That is so sweet.
So he set the bar very high on how, like, I expect to be treated like a man. And I'm not saying you have to go out and do something extravagant like that.
Right. But you see, that didn't even take a lot of
girl.
It mostly takes time.
It's those 99-cent cheap ass balloons.
Right.
But he went and bought a tank that you can bring home, like, and fill it up yourself. And so he did it himself at my house.
Yeah.
So again, he didn't spend hundreds of dollars to do this. This is something that's not even that expensive that he did for me to make me feel special. And every day, like, he would come home from work, and it's not even a big ass thing of roses. He'd pick up a single red rose and bring me home a rose from work.
See, or something like that. You know, like that. It's I like that affection. I like that sweetness, that effort. So like, I love all of that.
We didn't cuddle like often. We finally did because he got mad at me one time. Because you see how big my bed is, okay?
Yes.
He would sleep like here, and I would sleep because I'm not really necessarily an affectionate person in the beginning of a relationship. Not until I love the person.
Right.
Once I love you, then I'm gonna lay on you. I'm gonna wear your clothes. Like, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine, but like, you're not gonna wear my sweater, right? So just understand you gotta share your clothes with me.
Exactly.
And so he got mad at me one time because I wouldn't cuddle him, and he like full on argument with me, like flashed on me.
Wow.
He's like, your kids aren't here, there's no one here, what the fuck is your excuse to not fucking like cuddle me at night? He's like, you might not need that, Skyla, but I do. And so that for me was a reality check of, okay, oh shit, like, I know I don't need that, but he did. Right. And so it was for me where I had to change my perspective on what I needed to what we needed as a couple to kind of alter that. And again, I went from being in a relationship with a man who was, we both had our issues. I could be selfish, he could be selfish, but let me just say I learned my non-need to be affectionate somewhere. Let's go from there, okay? Interpret that how you please. But I grew accustomed to not needing that. And so with him getting with a man who did need that, I was like, okay, now I need to change my perspective because this is what we need as a couple, not just what I need as a couple. Because I would have been okay with not cuddling in bed. But he needed that.
But
so
that
I
was
had to
important to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's true because we become accustomed to certain things and we get used to doing certain things or, you know, feeling a certain type of way or thinking a certain type of way, and then we cross paths with someone, you know, who is the opposite, and it's like, okay, now I have to take them into consideration because I'm not just alone.
And for me too, I guess with him, like in the beginning I even told him, I said, people are temporary. I have the mindset of, it's temporary. This isn't going to last forever. Like, I, for a long time, didn't believe in a fairy tale happy ending, you know?
See, that's where I'm at right now.
Sometimes I still kind of feel that way, but sometimes I'm like hopeful that I'm wrong. But like with him, it was always, I'm not going anywhere. I'll never go anywhere. And to this day, 2 years later, we still, every now and then he'll call and check in on me, or I'll like check in on him. Good. And like, he's even, if you ever need anything, Skyla, like just call me. And he dead ass, like if I ever needed anything, whether it's for myself or for my children, he's more so than their own father or anyone. Like, he's the one person I know I could be like, hey, I need this, or hey, the boys need this. Yeah. Can you help me out? And I know he would. Good. Not that I do that because I don't feel like as a friend at this point, it's his place or his job to do that for me. But he's someone that like taught me that he's not temporary. You know?
Yeah.
Whether or not we're together or just friends, he's not temporary in my life. He's someone that I can always count on if I need it.
See, and I'm like that now because I've had negative experiences with dating and the guys in my past. I'm at that point now, and to where it's not so much I purposely try to be negative, but I kind of am. And my friend helped me to realize
your friend
that.
Or your friend?
My friend. He's just a friend.
Uh-huh.
He's just a friend. He lives in Texas. He's probably gonna watch this.
Where'd you say you're moving?
To Texas, but okay, that's not the point. That's not the point. Okay, so I kind of realized that. So I'm kind of like at that point now where it's like anyone who tries to take it there with me, I'm just kind of like just so how I never used to be like this, so short and just really like cold.
Yeah.
Towards people, because in my mind, yeah, I'm just like it's not gonna last. You're just gonna treat me the same way that my last 2, 3, 4, 5 exes did. Man, it's not gonna last.
Fucking set your standards for treating women higher. Look, we as women, when we have daughters, because I have sons, we want to raise our daughters to know what to deserve from a man, but also we're gonna teach our daughters how to treat their men.
Right.
Fucking treat your sons how to treat a woman. It's not that hard.
It really isn't.
My sons, I swear to God, really the first time my son's girlfriend comes home talking about how he disrespected his girlfriend or did, I'm sorry, Tyler and Nehemiah, I love you, but I will whoop your ass, kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna do that.
And that's how it should be. I feel like if you're a mother and you have sons, you need to be the type of woman that you want to see your sons date, and treat your sons how men should treat women, and then vice versa. If you are a man and you have a daughter, I think every man
needs a daughter.
Yeah, you need to be the man that if you don't want to see your daughter bringing home a man that acts like you, then maybe you need to get your stuff together.
Would you be okay with your daughter dating you, basically? I mean, that sounds bad, but
yeah, dating a man that acts just like you.
Take your daughter out on a date. Shit, take your sister out on a date. If you have sisters, set your standard for your sister high enough that she knows how to be treated like a man. Because let's say if your dad didn't treat that to her, you taught that to teach that to her. You taught that to her, like things like that.
Yeah, that's
because
important.
Society nowadays, and I get, at this point, everyone wants to just get their chorizo wet, okay? Like, I didn't want to say the other word. Or vice versa. There's plenty of girls out there that's like, it's just about the lay for them too.